Hello, 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 everybody. Um, my name is Glory, also known as Nurse G, uh, YouTube channel, um, Nurse G 24, my social media handle, Solid Glory 24. That's at Solid Glory 24 and or at Nurse G 24 on YouTube. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video, I'm gonna be doing this from time to time. Um, First of all, I want to let you guys know I am diabetic, and um, yep, it's not easy to really come out and say such stuff. I'm diabetic. I have type 2 diabetes. Um, I've been working out for like over 30 years, and I never really expected that someday I'll come down with diabetes. But I guess it runs in the family and skipped a couple of generations pretty much to get to me. That's how some of these chronic ailments work, especially if it's in your lineage. It skips generations to get to you. Before I get to all of that, let me give a little bit of breakdown of me. Um, like I said earlier on, my name is Glory, also known as Nurse G, or social media handle at NurseG24, um, or at Solid Glory 24. I am originally from Nigeria. I came to the United States about 23 years ago. Um, I did a lot of menial jobs, worked in Walmart, drove taxi for like almost 10 years before I now got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. How did I know I was diabetic? I just started realizing my mouth was always dry. I was drinking a lot of water, always thirsty. I was going to the restroom 50 million times a night. I like, okay, this is not normal. And back home in Nigeria, I never really knew I was diabetic in Nigeria. I didn't know that until I got here to the United States. Because in Nigeria, in Africa, we are always on the go, always on the go. So pretty much we're working out every day without even knowing we're working out. And that's why I did not find out while I was in Nigeria. When I got here, your life become somehow sedentary, where you don't do that much activity. You're always in the house or you're at work. That's workout lifestyle that we have in Nigeria. Uh, we didn't really have here, and that was when the ailment reared this ugly head. And I kind of felt when I got diagnosed diabetes, I felt really really depressed. I felt depressed. I'm like, how the hell did I get this? I work out like crazy. How did I? And that now was the reason I said, you know what? I'm going to nursing school. I want to be in the forefront of whatever I'm going to be going through. And being the hands on guy that I am, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I went, you know, working and going to school, working and going to school, uh, you know, paying my school fees and all, working to pay school fees, work with family and all that other stuff. But in the long run, after working menial jobs, I actually did roofing when I got here. I was a roofer and a very good one at that. One thing about me is anything I do, I try to make sure I give it my 100%. If I sign the dotted line that I'm going to do that job, I'm going to give it 100%. Even if I'm getting paid $2 for that job, as long as I sign a dotted line, it becomes not about the money for me. The loyalty is prime for me. So what everything I did very well. When I did roofing, I roofed very well. When I drove taxi, within like less than a year, I owned my own cab. I owned my permit for driving my own cab. So I tried to get better at everything I do. Then I went to nursing school, came out well, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to face this whole diabetes thing, squarely, which is what I've been doing. And after I left nursing school, I've worked and still work in a hospital. I've worked in a few hospitals, nursing homes, and I see what diabetes do to people. I've seen how it destroyed people, how it wrecked people, how people get their limbs, their fingers, their toes, their legs, they just get cut off. I've seen it, how it blinds people, how it just pretty much destroys people's lives, especially if you're not compliant. It could really destroy your life if you're not compliant. And being coming from where I came from, a lot of people out there in Nigeria, even in Africa, don't even know what it is to be diabetic. They don't know when they don't even know is they don't know when they're diabetic. They just think this thing is like the everyday lifestyle, the everyday go thing. You're waking up to 50 million times a night. They just think it's normal. I'm drinking, I'm getting thirsty. I'm drinking water and water and water all the time. They think it's normal until they crash. And some of us will say it's the devil or it's witchcraft. No, until I got here and started reading into it and working as a nurse, working in hospitals, seeing how this stuff ravages people's lives. That was when I knew, oh no, there's no witchcraft here. You just need to take care of yourself. You just need to be compliant. And they have a lot of dialysis centers here that we don't have back home. No dialysis centers, and even the few that we have are very, very expensive. As in very expensive. The ordinary man won't even attempt to go to any of them because they're very expensive. And that's why I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start a channel to educate people, especially people from my part of the country, from my part of the world. I'm going to educate them because who would be the best man to do it than somebody who has the same ailment? I have type 2 diabetes. So who would be the best person to do such to educate than the man that is actually going through it? I'm going through it. I have it just like you have it. So I'm going to give you my experiences, what I have done to stay healthy, what I have done to stay compliant, and everything I'm going to be teaching here, you're going to get for free, pretty much. You're getting it for free. I'm teaching it for free, and I don't want you to take whatever I'm going to be saying to you as a substitute for your medication or for your doctor's visit. Visit your doctors, take your medication, stay compliant, Um, do whatever it is you do that works for you, but stay compliant. If you're doing exercises, if you're not taking medication, you're doing strictly exercises and it's working for you, by every means, keep doing it. If you're taking just medication and it's working for you, by every means, keep doing it. If you're doing both and it's working for you, by every means, keep doing it. Whatever works for you, do whatever works for you, but stay compliant with whatever you do that works for you. That's that, So I'm not here. I'm only going to be telling you about my experiences, but make sure you stay compliant with whatever you do that is working for you. And also, as we go on, I'm going to be talking about um, blood vessels. Most of the ailments we have today, cardiovascular, diabetes, and all this, are all blood vessels related. What are blood vessels? Like it says, vessels. Blood vessels are like, for lack of a word to use, pipes in our body in varying sizes. Some are big, some are small, that carries blood all around and all over our bodies. It carries blood and oxygen. Now, when you live a sedentary lifestyle, that's lifestyle that could make you sick. Sedentary lifestyle just means you're living uh you're living a life of vices, like smoking, drinking, doing drugs, eating foods you're not supposed to be eating, or eating too much of food you're supposed to be eating. You're not working out, you're always in one place, you're not moving around, you know, all this lifestyles, this lifestyle could affect the way your blood vessels work, could affect the way your heart works, could affect the way the organs in your bodies work. Um, I'm also going to be teaching how our bodies are supposed to break down sugars, because that sugar is the killer when it comes to diabetes. I'm going to make it very simple. In fact, this whole channel thing is going to be making simplifying healthy lifestyles. Just simplifying it, breaking it down. So I'm going to be using Pidgin English. I go use our own Ninja Pidgin English Tokam. I go use Oyibo Tokam. I go mix the two together. So all of us will know exactly what thing I talk about. Because me, say if I get diabetes, I get type 2. I take medication, I work out well. I manage my own well. I'm managing my diabetes very well. And that is why, because I have seen how this stuff ravage people, I told myself, like, God, if this is how you want to use me to help people, I'm availing myself for you to use. Because I really want to make sure, in my own way, my own part is played to make sure we tackle this thing called diabetes. We have to tackle it because it is ravaging a lot of people. And it is because of the staple food some of us eat. In my part of the country, like Nigeria, everything we eat, carbohydrate, eba, pounded yam, we drink gari, potato, all this stuff, all this carbohydrate, we they chop. All these things, they cause wahala when it comes to diabetes. And because these things are the cheapest to get out there, are easy, very easy to get. You know, if not for the inflation these days, um, potatoes are cheap, very cheap. Gary, it is very cheap. Pounded yam, if you did village, that's pretty much all you eat. We need to eat all this safe, go eat vegetables. They are very expensive from even here in America today. Vegetables are very expensive. They're not easy to reach. Those good foods are now very expensive. They're not cheap anymore. So um, we are going to be diving into a whole lot of aspects of healthy living, trying to fight this thing called diabetes. And if you tune into my channel, I'll be doing this maybe once or twice a week because I still have to work. I'll be doing this once or twice a week. You tune into my channel once or twice a week. Um, you'll be seeing different topics that I'll be presenting when it comes to the fight against diabetes. And we have two types of diabetes. We have the type 1, not just two types. We have two major types. You have the type 1 and the type 2. Those are the two major types of diabetes that we have. The type 1 just means your body is not producing insulin. So the sugar is just running free in your system. Type 2 just means your body is producing insulin, but not enough to consume the sugar. How does insulin work? The organ that produces insulin in our bodies is the pancreas. If you have issues with your pancreas, that's a major problem. How does insulin work? Insulin is like the key that opens up your cell for your cell to absorb sugar. Now we need sugar. You need sugar because sugar is how our bodies gets the energy to carry us through the day. That's why I always advise people when you want to eat anything carbohydrate, eat it in the afternoon or morning because you have all day to burn it out. Don't eat it at night because when you go to sleep, your body is inactive and this sugar just keeps flowing around in your blood. And you know how sugar works. Sugar thickens up, your blood thickens up, your blood can go through those tiny blood vessels, clogs it up, and now you have a problem. That's why you're always thirsty. You want to drink water because your body is trying to regulate itself. Your body is trying to fix itself. So when your blood thickens up, you start feeling thirsty. You want to drink water. You want to go to the restroom because your body is trying to fix itself. So you're drinking water, you're peeing out. What's happening is you're diluting the blood, you're peeing it out, you're breaking down the sugar from your system to go, that's what you're peeing out, that sugar, that excess sugar in your system. But your body can only fight for so long. If your body keeps fighting and fighting and fighting, your kidneys keep fighting and fighting and fighting all the impurities. After a little while, your kidneys will shut down. And when your kidneys shut down, that's a problem. Because now you have a plethora of problem when your kidneys shut down. High blood pressure, high blood sugar. A whole lot of stuff that could go wrong in your system when your kidneys shut down. Because your kidneys are the filter stations of your body. If they're not working, something is wrong. Your blood is going to be getting a whole bunch of toxins in it that you're supposed to be peeing out. If your kidneys are not working, you can't pee. That's why people go for dialysis. You go for dialysis like 3 days in a week. Sometimes it's Monday, Tuesday, Friday. It just depends on how you're scheduled. But for the most part, it's 3 days in a week to clean out your system, to clean the toxins out of your system because your livers, your kidneys are dead, they're not working anymore. And that's what diabetes can do to you. That is what these things can do to you. So with God on my side, with God giving me insights, I'm going to try as much as possible to break this thing called diabetes down to the simplest form. We're going to be doing that together. You're going to be asking me questions. You can leave questions on my page, and I'll answer these questions as much as I can. Once in a while, I'll bring in other nurses. We'll talk together. You ask questions, and they'll ask me questions, and I will break this thing called diabetes down. And I want you to know, we are in this fight together. I'm diabetic just like you. And if you're not diabetic, if you have any family member that's diabetic, put them onto my channel. Have them follow me. We'll be talking. Be asking questions. We'll be talking. I'm learning just like you will be learning. We'll share thoughts with, you ask me questions, I break down the questions. I'll learn from the questions you're asking me, and you learn from the teachings I'm going to be teaching when it comes to diabetes. Once again, I am Glory, also known as Nurse G. Social media handle Nurse G at Nurse G24 or at Solid Glory 24. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.